Hello and welcome to the live Implant Graphics webinar, The Road to Web to Print, sponsored by Rochester Software Associates. I'm Bob Neubauer, Editor-in-Chief and Content Director for Implant Graphics and the host of today's event. Before we get started, let me take a second to point out the Tips for Attendees widget on your console. It's the blue one with the wrench on it. If you missed the Tech Tips video we played leading up to the webinar, you can always click this widget for more information. Today we're going to hear a very interesting story about how one implant, Citrus College Reprographics and Mail, overcame some challenging roadblocks on its web-to-print journey. At one point they even pulled the plug on a dysfunctional system and started over from scratch. These days, 80% of the shop's work is submitted online, and the implant is a big hit with customers. All right, I'm going to need some help advancing the slides, sorry. First I want to talk to you about the advantages of adding web-to-print and some of the common web-to-print mistakes implants make. After that, we'll let Rocky tell the story of Citrus College's web-to-print odyssey, and we'll take some questions from all of you. You can send in these questions at any time. You don't have to wait until the end. So some printers out there, maybe even some of you, have been getting by using email-based job submission or FTP sites, and they may feel that customers are just fine with that and there's no need to confuse them by getting a web-to-print system, which they feel is just going to cost them money. Well, those who have web-to-print, who maybe used to feel that way, know how misguided that logic is. For one thing, by increasing automation through web-to-print, go back please, you end up reducing costs. You and your staff touch jobs less often, which of course frees all of you up to handle other, more important tasks. Ordering becomes easier for customers. They can order common items like business cards, postcards, letters, and mailers using templates designed by the implant. They can view and approve PDF proofs, eliminating the need for your implant to spend time formatting projects. Web2Print also lets your implant bring in more work to increase productivity, because it's easier for customers to send you jobs versus going to an outside printer, and your staff has more time to handle that work. Plus, through Web2Print, you can track work and see where it's coming from, which gives you a chance to contact those clients to develop more business from them. Overall, a Web2Print system can bring new value to your implant by making it easier for customers to order printing and see proofs. And through the templates you create, you help ensure that your organization's branding stays consistent, which will also increase your value. Next slide. Yet according to an implant survey we did earlier this year, just 65% have web-to-print, leaving 35% without it. And InfoTrends did a study, leave it there, of implants, and they asked which challenges they faced while implementing web-to-print. You can see here that staff training tops the list, but close behind is designing all the new templates you'll need. Other challenges include integrating the system with other systems in the implant, getting customers to use it, and also training those customers. 23% pointed to unexpected costs, so make sure you're prepared to face some of those. Some of the common mistakes printers have made when implementing web-to-print include not having an online strategy before you begin. This means defining your business objectives, the results you expect, which printed products you want to be able to order with the system, etc. Linked with this, another mistake is failing to understand which customers and problems your web-to-print solution is going to address. You should analyze all of your important customer groups and understand which problems they need solved, and then map your solution to them. And don't imagine that your solution will solve all of the challenges your different customers want you to solve, so prioritize which ones you want to solve. Another mistake, not getting customers involved in advance. You need their input, so talk to them to learn their requirements and how you can make their jobs easier. One big blunder is not assigning someone on staff to take ownership of this project. You need that person, and it can't be someone already overloaded with other responsibilities. It has to be someone who understands the problems that your customers have and how your new solution will help make their jobs easier. The product owner does not need to be the most technical or skilled computer person in your organization, but they need to have great business, marketing, and communication skills. Not allocating enough time and resources for implementation, that's another mistake, because it will take longer than you initially think. One reason for that is the need to iron out all the integration issues, so the web-to-print system can talk with other systems, including campus payment cards and accounting systems. So work with a supplier who has integration experience and get IT involved early in the process. In fact, getting IT buy-in up front makes this implementation much easier. Viewing the launch as a single big event with a fully polished solution, that's another mistake. Instead, you should first deliver a basic solution that will still provide value to the group of customers you're starting with. In other words, beta test. Then learn, adjust, and prioritize as you enable more online services and functionality. And finally, not having a marketing plan to get the word out once you go live. The success of your web-to-print system relies not on the technical setup, but on how the solution is delivered and configured as a service to your customers, and how well you convey that message to them. So hold open houses and free training sessions to market your web-to-print services. So now I want to bring in our main speaker, an implant manager who has actual experience with web-to-print, so we can hear how it turned his implant around. Rocky Reynolds has been the supervisor of the Reprographics and Mail Center at Citrus College in Glendora, California for more than 34 years. He's been in the printing industry since 1974, starting at Postal Instant Press, or PIP, and then working at a small commercial shop before arriving at Citrus College. Rocky has been on the Higher Education Advisory Council for Xerox for the past 10 years, and I've seen him many times at conferences over the years. So, Rocky, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am, Bob.
All right, well, take it away.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, I guess, where you're at. Anyway, this is my story of how we went to road to the web-to-print solution. We'll start off, we'll talk about Citrus College, we'll talk about our print shop and some of the issues that we have here. We'll talk about our web-to-print history and why we needed to change. We'll talk about understanding your needs and requirements for a new solution, working with beta users, and our marketing strategy and what lies ahead for Citrus College. Citrus College, we're in Glendora, California. We're 25 miles northeast of Los Angeles. We are the 5th oldest community college in California. We have 104 acres on campus. We have 18,000 plus students. We have 750 faculty and staff. Okay. Our print shop consists of 2.5 people. We average 500 jobs a month on 327 orders and 830,000 impressions. At this time, we have 80% online job submission, and we've seen a 17% increase without adding any staff at all. My goal was to offer the best, easiest work request submittal process for all of our faculty, staff, and adjunct professors. After beginning our web-to-print journey with a system that created more headaches than efficiencies, I vowed to take a new approach. We pulled the plug and started from scratch. After looking over where our work requests came from, I found that over 50% of our work requests were actually from the adjunct faculty. These faculty were frequently moving from campus to campus, a huge need for convenience that they needed. I started out like many with the latest technology. We had some ups and downs, but we have a happy ending. Like I said, today 80% of our work requests come from online submission. You'll see Citrus College, we call our adjuncts Freeway Flyers because of all of the different community colleges and colleges in our area, and they travel these freeways and come to us. Okay, before web-to-print, many of you, I started out with, we started with our fax machine, which was bad quality, no request form, and I couldn't get any budget numbers. From there, we went to email requests. As the technology advanced, again, bad quality, no request forms. Many times we did not get number of copies, paper samples, paper supply, or budget codes. So in 2002, we started looking at EDU Business Solutions, NowDocs, My Order Desk, Printsmith, and Printable Technologies. At the time, I decided I selected Printable Technologies because of their training, which was right down at the beach, their dashboard, capability of task handling through it, file manager, the way they sent files, order manager, shopping cart, catalog, their shipping and billing, work requests, and a PDF maker that they promised would come. This is sort of a timeline that we started off with. Like I said, 2003 was our first, which was the Printable Technologies. In 2005, we moved into a new building, and it really all started at the 2006. 2006, we purchased an iGen. It had an iWay web-to-print solution that was offered to replace our failed system. Again, I did my research with all that. It frankly just did not work. It never worked from the beginning. Part of it was, I'd say 75% was the program itself, and we had some issues with our IT department. I contacted the manufacturer. We came to an agreement, and they suggested RSA WebCRD was one of the web print solutions that was offered to replace the failed system. I still did my research. I went through all my other researches again, went through all my people, and I realized that the attractive features that I liked about WebCRD was the fact that, one, print driver file submissions, user self-registration, customized login page, calendar of work hours, which helps us immensely. We can put in our hours that we work, and it'll automatically change the dates accordingly to us. So if we don't work weekends, it doesn't add in that date. And also the status of emails, availability of online configuration, gift permissions, drop-down reports, and catalog requests. In front of you is the login page, which I really like. Is one of the features that brought me to them. Is the fact that I can actually customize my login page. I can put my hours if they change for our vacations or school holidays. I can put in a little thing here about passwords. If they forget their passwords, I can remind them that it's our busiest time of the semester, and I can thank them for all their cooperations and anything else I might need to get to them. Okay, also, what I really liked was the fact that the pre-production orders, I can go in and check all this. Production, I can check the production from any location. I really like this feature so I can keep an eye on things. Work coming in and planning, I can look at while on vacation. If I see a major problem, I can check on it, and adjust accordingly. Okay, we started in July of 2000. We started doing beta testing. Okay, my first phase, I took a sample of 25 faculty, staff, and departments. We got together. We talked. I asked them. I told them what I expected out of this new system. I asked them what were some of their biggest and most questions about the system, what they wanted to see in a system also. So I took these people, and some of them were my most demanding users. Okay, I explained again. We sat in a room. We went through all this. I asked them, And then I also prepared a how-to brochure so we could work through everything, how we could work through, create about the submission process. Now phase 2 is in October. We got the Shirt PDF driver installed on their computers and started phase 2. In March of 2012, we had our last meeting. I received feedback on how they viewed WebCRD with the good and the bad and the ugly from them. At that point, I found to my surprise, the individuals who were my biggest critics for the change were now my biggest supporters and are still my best advocates for our system. At that point,
sorry, 1 second, Rocky. Do you mind just speaking up a little bit? Some people are having a little difficulty. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. Like I said, in October, we put the Sure PDF drivers on all the computers. Then we had our last meeting in March of 2012. I received all the feedback from them. We looked, and I saw how they viewed WebCRD with all the good, bad, and the ugly. Much to my surprise, the individuals who were my most critics of the change at the beginning were now my biggest supporters. With all the input that I got from my beta testers, I sent the suggestions to RSA, and on July 1st, 2012, Reprographics implemented our WebCRD website campus-wide. I decided at that point that was a total of 11 months in beta testing. A little bit about now how I promoted the launch to our web print services. I created 3 postcards. The first one was called It's Coming. I sent through campus mail and with print orders from November 2011 through March of 2012. Then I switched cards. I put It's Almost Here. I sent these and included again with every order through June of 2012. And then I started sending out It's Here postcards from July through December of 2012. I also created a floor banner with how to use WebCRD, and it sits in our foyer, and if anybody has a question, they can look at it and I can go over it with them. Also, we've created a brochure. It mimics the floor sign on how to use us, how to log on, how to sign up, and how to use WebCRD. How I market the site. Okay, I'm big on postcards. I don't know why. But anyway, so I created postcards, and like the one in the first one talks about spring break. I put it in their orders, I put it in their mail system, and let them know that they can send their files from everywhere they go. You know, WebCRD and Sure PDF driver can be manage and reorder from their laptop, tablet, smartphone, or their desktop. Anywhere they are, day or night, 365 days a year. And then I follow it up with winter break, and I do this twice a year. Okay, since adding web to print, we have added new, faster equipment. We've added new wide formats, banners, decals now. We offer envelope printing and perfect binding for all of our course description books that we do. None of this probably could have been possible without adding more staff to our department. What's ahead for us? My goals are to present to departments at least twice a year. I want to get a laptop to run PowerPoint presentations to them and how to set up a user account. I want to actually offer a video recording and run it continuously. My next thing, I want to offer templates. That was another big thing I wanted to do that I looked into. Unfortunately, all that training that we had for that, my designer quit, and we haven't employed one since then. So I'm partnering with RSA to get my business cards and letterhead templates done right now. Variable data, that's another big issue that we're running right now. We do variable data. We're seeing more and more of it, and I want to put that on the site so it'd be more easier for my staff. Another thing I really want to get into is photo books and run that through my site also. What I feel my success keys were, I gathered customer requirements. I looked at what came in. I looked who my customers were. And from that point, I found that over 50% of our faculty are the adjunct faculty. So I wanted to make sure that I got them involved. I wanted them to have the easiest way possible to send us work. Then I did beta testing. Like I said, I took 25 of the biggest departments that supply us work, put them into the beta test program, made sure their requirements were met so they could send us jobs easily. And then I market it and I sell my benefits and my capacities through my postcards, through flyers. I send those out also. Okay, words of wisdom. Keep up with trends, okay, by reading, hands-on, conferences. Embrace new technology. Like I said, I've been here 35 years. I started printing in 1977. I've seen a lot of things and a lot of people who have not embraced new technology who have fallen by the wayside. Embrace opportunities. Don't stay with the old ways. Okay? And when opportunities come up, make sure you seize on those. I have a couple of issues. I've had a couple of things that have come up. We had a president that wanted everything to be more business-like. I seized on that opportunity. I went to him, and we got an IGN, so we could offer that business look. This past year, my vice president made a comment about the Centennial and all the work that we were going to be doing. So I went to her and I said, hey, I need a new wide format printer. I got a new wide format printer so I can do that work. Okay? Partner with vendors. I partner with RSA. I partner with Xerox. I partnered even with a couple of my vendors, my competitors out there at print shops. And one thing I've learned over all these years is that no matter what, yes, we can. If somebody brings me something, yes, we can do that. Maybe we can't, but I know a guy, and I can get it done for them. Okay, I learned that, and I'm going to have to say A-Cup convention many years ago was called Yes We Can. And I picked up that, and I've used that ever since. Also, I use Yes We Can Do That. When one of my superiors, one of my bosses says, I need a Centennial book, I said, yes, we can do that, no problem, no questions asked. So that's my biggest thing that I can leave with you is that yes, we can, no matter what it is, yes, we can do that. And there's always a way to find it out to do it.
Well, that's a good attitude to have, Rocky, and something that every in-plant could benefit from. Well, you, it seems, certainly did everything right in terms of pre-marketing, I guess, or checking ahead of time with that group of 25 faculty and staff users, finding out their needs. What do you think it was that made your critics your best supporters? What What turned them?
I think it's the fact that they really like the Sure PDF driver, and when they click on that and they send their jobs to us, when it creates that PDF using their fonts, their artwork on their computer, they feel they have control over that, and they take ownership of that. And when it comes to me, it makes my life so much easier because everything is right and I know it can be printed. Hardly any pre-flight. We don't even pre-flight them anymore. And I also give anybody that uses their Sure PDF driver, we bump them up on the to-do list. Unfortunately, we had a little revolt. People still wanted their Word programs, the Excel, the PowerPoint, and their Microsoft Word. So we have to allow them to use that, send it to us. But as a reward to the people who use the Sure PDF driver, we bump them to the top of the list. But I think that's why the people had the biggest complaints, really, because actually we've gone from about 25% using Sure PDF to we're about 65% now that use Sure PDF, and I keep on driving that home to them.
I know you said about 80% of the campus or of potential users are using WebCRD. So I'm curious about the other 20%. Do you have any idea why they aren't? About the other 10%, I would say there's 10% that use both. When they're on campus, they'll drop something off, and then there's 10% that, first of all, do not have anything electronic files. Everything is a hard copy to them, even though there's a system and a way to do that on our WebCRD, that they can send us the request and bring us the hard copy, but it seems like they just want to bring both at that time.
Yeah,
so we have a mixture.
Hard to get around that. I'm sure there are people like that everywhere out there.
But we are offering to them. We are scanning those hard copies for them now, and then emailing them back to them to try to get them into using the WebCRD.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Show them what you can do. One of the potential products you mentioned were photo books. Is that? I mean, who's looking for photo books on campus? Is there a big market?
I'm gearing that to the foundation, who do a lot of events on campus. So when they do their little events, they can go on and create a little photo book. I'm thinking about graduation, where people can bring and have all their photos for their graduation. We can make a photo book of graduation, individual people.
And that's something that WebCRD could handle, the photo books?
Yes, it can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've looked into it, and they can do that. So it's just an added. Yeah, it's just.
It would make it a lot easier to do those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm always looking. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but I always looking to make my administration see our importance and what we do here. We're kind of a unique situation here, I think. We do not bill for our services. It comes out of the general fund, which is sometimes very interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of implants will have a different way to charge back, but it can handle that as well. Had several questions about the expenses and the costs, the annual maintenance fees, or how much of a financial investment has this system been, and has it paid for itself? Can you address any of those cost-related questions?
No, I really can't address any of that. I think it depends upon individuals and how you set up, what features you add to it. I'm sure they'd get a better answer from RSA than from myself.
Well, how about costs that you incurred that you didn't anticipate?
I'm trying to really think of some costs I didn't anticipate. I'm gonna say something that they probably won't like, but it's always the fact we decided to house it with RSA. Okay, so there's a little more of expense there than if we housed it ourselves, hosted it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that only because of the reliability that they showed me that they had, plus the fact that there's always a problem with our IT supporting our area. So I just felt it was to my best advantage to have RSA host it, which is a little more money.
Yeah. But that was your main reason for deciding to have them hosted, the IT, working with your own IT department?
Right, yeah. And I had an
Yeah.
opportunity this last January to switch over, but I still felt I'd stay with them just so because I've had nothing but praise for their IT people at RSA. If something happens with their server, I get an email saying, "Hey, our server's down because of a snowstorm," or something like that. So they always let me know, and then they let me know what's up. I get an email from them also saying, "Hey, it's up now." So and
well, that's good to know.
I haven't had any, and that has impressed me immensely.
Good. Some people were interested in what some of the main reasons for going with RSA were. More features, better workflow.
The features that really drew me at the time when I did all my research was the fact that they had the Sure PDF driver that you could use for the file submission. So the file submission, okay. So it encapsulates all that information, their fonts, their artwork, everything I needed, and I knew it would be right because it was built for our machines in our department. Right. The customized login page, which I really liked, the self-registration, where I didn't have to really worry about somebody sending me an email saying, "Hey, I want to sign up." I really like the calendar of hours where I put in the hours of my shop during the week. We're closed Saturday and Sunday. So when it says, okay, when your job is due, it takes into account the days that I'm not here or the hours we're not here. So it always gives me the correct due date on their job. And then, the email status. When it's logged in, we open it up on the production side. It sends them an email saying, "Hey, we've received your order." When it goes to print, you can actually send them an email say, "Hey, it's in production now." I don't do that, but I can also turn on several different areas, systems, how you go down to complete your job, and then when it's completed, it sends them an email says, "Hey, it's complete. You can come pick it up." So that was really a nice feature I really liked.
Yeah, sure.
And also the fact that during the configuration, I can grant permissions to people, or I can establish work groups. Okay, it has my catalog of all my papers, and and also I do have to mention the live-based training that they offer. I was really impressed with the fact that it was I got a like a P30 room, okay, a big classroom, and I brought my people in, and we went through the training together on a big wide screen with them talking. We could talk back to them. If we had questions, we could go at our own pace.
Oh, So right in your facility?
Right in my
you were
facility,
trained.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
How long did that take?
It took probably over a course of I want to say 3 to 4 weeks, because we had a general, we had a general an overview, and then we had individualized, the people who were going to work on this side, the production side, who was going to work on the admin side. Our designer, we had our designer brought in to do all the templates. They had a class, so it took probably 3 to 4 weeks by the time we completed it, and all that available online, I believe, through RSA.
Mm-hmm. One question that's come up is, a lot of schools would like to get web to print, but there's issues getting approval of funds for the purchase. Did you have any issues getting the funds approved to get this?
Actually, I didn't. I was very surprised. I went in figuring it was going to be a battle, but when I approached my vice president, which is the vice president of finance, and I gave her a quick overview, and she saw my points and saw how it would work for us and how it would eliminate some of our work. And actually, at the time, we were going to hire another full-time person, and she saw how that we didn't have to, that we could go down to a 49% person, and it'd work out very well for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually very surprised that I didn't have to do as much fighting. From her.
Nice. Now, do you receive much work from the student population?
No. That's something I am working on. We do a lot of work for clubs, school clubs.
Uh-huh.
But as far as walk-in work for students, no. That's something that we're addressing, and we're trying to implement that.
Yeah, that's a good opportunity. I know Villanova, they also use WebCRD. They're getting a lot of work from students through the system, and it's working out well for them. Has it? I know you showed us some pictures of some of your new equipment there. Did the the automation of web to print and other advantages, did that help you in any way to get that equipment?
Yeah, I feel it did, because we can do more in less time now by using, our time is not taken up with bringing stuff in, writing it down, inputting it into Printsmith, and then so it's freed a lot of time up, along with my boss feels money, which in turn I'd be able to purchase an envelope printer and some other things that we needed quite badly.
Good. What percentage of jobs let me look at a different one. How did WebCRD change how you organize the production of your work?
It gives us a central location where we can do that. We do have it on multiple in the back in our production area. We have a monitor, so they can go in and check that information. I can review it, on an ongoing basis. If somebody calls up and says, "Hey, I need this, I forgot," I can go in and change and make it. I can go in and change the due date on it and give an okay with that. If I'm on vacation, which I don't check it a whole lot, but I know at certain times a year, or if I'm at a convention, I know instead of calling my people up and say how things going, I can just log in and check and see how things are running. And if I see any bottlenecks, I can send an email, or I can actually change stuff for myself, because I do get emails from people. I do check my emails, so if there's something, I can go in and make a correction and reroute certain things.
Right. Now, making this easy for customers to use is a key to the success of any web-to-print system. So how did you structure the web order submission process to make it simpler? Without asking for too much information and making it too complex. Is there any light you can shed on that?
Well, one thing I like on it, it has the pull downs. Our order information has pull downs, and we also give them the option that they can just type in what they want. We do. I know everything comes through a central location to us, and then we send it out to the machines. It doesn't go directly to the machines here. So we actually have a chance to look at it and catch any mistakes that, we see somebody wants color, but yet they actually want colored copy instead of just colored paper. We get that a lot. So we catch it before it actually goes to a machine. We try to eliminate a lot of our paper styles. We've tried to condense them instead of saying Astro Brights, Exact Brights. We just call it one color, and they can go to a pull down, or we do have people that still type in things who like to type in. So that gives us that in the instructions what to do. And that seems to be working out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Just a couple quick things. Some folks have asked if your shop is all digital printing or if you have any offset.
Unfortunately, right now we're all digital.
Okay.
I'm an old school press guy, but when we moved into our new building in 2005, we went all digital.
Yeah, I kind of suspected that. From a story I remember we did. And how about an MIS system? Do you have one? Shop management software? Okay.
Well, a lot of that you can actually do through WebCRD too. All of our accounting, we can pull down. We can pull down that information for our accounting department, even though we don't bill. My boss wants to know how much we're doing and for who.
Right.
So I send her a report. I just download that stuff and send her an Excel file, and she can go look through it and see who's our biggest users.
Yep, that's great.
About every other month I do that to make sure we're up to date, and we're still getting that volume in.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you get any work from outside? In other words, insourcing from off campus? And do you use the system for that?
No, we don't. We don't get a lot. We've been asked. I've got two vendors, print shops that want to send us their color work, short run color. We're trying. That's in the system. Trying to figure out how we can do that through our accounting system. But we do have a couple. We have one, the Chamber of Commerce of Glendora. We do their newsletter because we're a member of the chamber, and it's something we do for them.
Right, but it doesn't come through WebCRD?
Yes, it has just started over the last 2 months.
Good.
Yes, we've done that. Before that, they always hand brought it in, and we've turned them over, and they've started using WebCRD for us.
Does WebCRD work with the college's inventory system?
It pretty much works with my inventory system. I can go in and see how much I've used and everything else like that. It takes care of that issue also. As far as the district-wide, it's not integrated in that, but I can pull the numbers off and show somebody if they'd like to. But I keep my own inventory of paper here, so it helps me quite a bit.
Good. I know you mentioned some of the things you're trying to get more into using the templates. Someone asked specifically if you're using the catalogs, they said, at all at this point, and did you work with building them?
We're, like I said, yeah, we had a graphic designer. We taught her. She went through the classes on how to do it, but then she quit. So,
no, that's bad.
So now I have, So I have partnered with, I'm partnering with RSA to build a couple of those for me so we can get up and running with that.
Yeah. Okay. I assume from what you said before that the response from RSA on tech issues has been pretty good. Is that accurate?
I've had very good response with them. Like I said, there's times when I come in and I notice that I can't get on to it, and I'll look at my email and there's an email saying that they had a winter storm, and they're and they're working on it. And I know about, I think it's been a year ago now, they've switched over to a different system, and I haven't had it go down once in a year.
Nice. And did you purchase WebCRD direct from RSA or through Xerox? Since I know you're a Xerox user.
We went through Xerox.
Okay.
They picked up. Well, maybe I shouldn't say this, but they picked up our initial bill because of the mess up with our iWay.
Well, something good came of that then.
But we pay our maintenance, our yearly maintenance on it now. So.
Mm-hmm. For someone without a designer on staff, do you need a designer to create templates?
I went through the training. I could probably do it, but I just don't have the time. I've got if I had someone, since I only have 2.5 people, if I had an extra person that I could spare, I would teach them how to do it or have them go through the classes, because I know RSA has offered to redo all of our training on that when we get somebody in to do that.
Now someone asked if you have any estimate in terms of how much time in terms of FTEs was saved with WebCRD when you compare it to the old manual entry process.
It saves us, I would have to say 50%. We have 50% more time to do work, because there were days where I personally would spend at least 6 of my 8 hours logging work in. Our old way.
Yeah. Yep. That's.
and now it's right there on our screen. So.
Yeah.
So it has freed my time up quite a bit. I know, and so I get to do a lot of more fun things.
Yep. So, how do you know when your existing web-to-print system isn't doing as much for you that it could be, and that it might be time for a change? There's things to look for.
I was looking at in the view of my customer. When it wasn't working the way they wanted it or expected it to work, then that's when I knew I had a problem. So it might be just because you get complacent on your end that you have a system that works and it's working fine, and you don't want to change anything. But when my faculty was telling me, hey, why can't we do this, this, and this? Then that's when I knew that I needed to change and look in a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Since you've had it, has there been any upgrades, anything, or any coming upgrades?
We've had one big upgrade. That was last June, I believe. Mm-hmm. And that's the only one I know that's been out there. And actually, I'll get an email saying, hey, over the weekend it's going to be shut down. We're going to do maintenance and upgrades. I mean, but I know we had a big upgrade last July, June or July, and I know we've had a couple small ones since then, but it wasn't. I didn't know about it because I found out about it when I got the email that it was happening.
Right. Well, someone asked about if you have any wide format in the shop and how you price
Yes.
it. Is that, do you?
Yeah, we do have wide format. We just, like I said, I took the opportunity. My vice president made a comment about our centennial. This is our 100th anniversary.
That's right. You mentioned that.
year.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I said I needed a new machine to take care of all that, and I got a Roland, 54-inch Roland.
Yeah, that's nice.
I've done decals. I could probably done over 600 decals of the logo. I did magnets. We did magnets for our big celebration party. So that's worked out really quite well.
Good. How about, do you have fleet copiers? Is that part of your jurisdiction?
Not any longer. I used to. It got taken away from me, which thank God.
Yeah.
But I still, purchasing still calls me and asks me, what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that was, I'm glad that was taken away from me.
Good. Also, any last advice for implants that want to change their web to print but aren't sure what to do first?
I think the first thing you just need to know who your customers are and why you're doing it. I made the big change because of my adjunct, because like I said, over 50% of our staff is part-time, and because we get probably, I would have to say 35% of our work that comes in between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing. That's the way that's what I look at it, how I can serve my people, because ultimately that's why I'm here. That's my job. I'm here to make their life easier.
Right. Yes, you can. Right.
Yeah, and I know there's many out there. I've looked at a lot of them. I just, from my personal situation, I felt WebCRD was the best fit, and I don't regret that at all.
Good. That's definitely working out well for you. Well, I think since the questions seem to be winding down, I'm just going to wrap things up. Some people have asked about getting a copy of presentations. This entire webinar is actually going to be available on demand. I think starting in about a day from now, which means that you could come back to the same link you used and go through it and jump ahead to the parts that you want. So, or share it with someone else at work if there are things that you want to tell others about. With that, since we're closing in on the hour here, I wanted to say on behalf of In-Plant Graphics and RSA, Rochester Software Associates, I want to thank you for attending today's webinar. Be sure to check out our webinar page to get information on all of our archived and upcoming webinars. And if you wouldn't mind taking just a minute to fill out the brief feedback survey that will appear on your screen next. We would be very grateful. Your feedback will influence the webinars we bring you in the future. And I do hope you'll join us at one of those future In-Plant Graphics webinars.